Life after death. What happens after we die? This is a question that everybody wants to know. They want to, get this figured out. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I feel like once we die, fam, the soul gets to reflect. It gets to reflect. It gets to look at the things that we did and the things that we didn't do. The good, the bad. And most importantly, it gets to see, did it learn the things that it was supposed to learn while it was on earth? Because I feel like it's deeper. It's something that's deeper. I feel like there's a soul contract. And what do I mean? It's a great question. I believe that everything was already planned. The family situation that you was brought up in, the economic status that you was brought up in, whether that be rich, poor, or, in the middle. Potentially the relationship aspect of life. Your friends, your circle of influence, everything, I believe is in a contract. I believe that you're going to experience all of these things for a certain reason. I feel like there's a reason behind why you was born in the family that you was born in. So let me get a little bit deeper so you can really understand what I'm trying to say. For example, let's say that you was brought up in a single mother situation, or your dad being the only parent there, right? I feel like you was brought up in that situation potentially to learn how to forgive. To learn forgiveness, to not judge them, to not hate them for not being around, but instead to really understand the reason why they wasn't there, and then be able to forgive them and love them. I'm not saying to forget it, but you have to learn how to forgive, because mistakes happen. Bad things happen, man. You've done bad things and people had to forgive you. It's the same thing, fam. Maybe they made a mistake, bro. Whatever the reason may be. Maybe you was brought up in a situation of not financial wealth. There's a lot of people that can relate to that, fam. I come from that, of not financial wealth. My mama wasn't making 6 figures a year, bro. We didn't have that, like I always say. But I'm grateful to be brought up in that situation, because I learned something, man. I learned that if you don't grind in life, you're not going to get the things that you don't want. I learned how to be patient. I learned that sometimes you got to give up the things that you really want for the things that you need, bro. I learned that. So I'm thankful to God that I was brought up in that situation, because I learned. I understand it now, man. I understand when I see it from a different perspective, that there's people that they out here starving, bro. There's people outside that's homeless, man. I see that in Oklahoma City a lot. I learned that, so I appreciate my upbringing. I'm appreciative to have such a great mom, man. I have a wonderful mom. I'm so thankful for that. And I'm glad I wouldn't have it any other way, bro. So I'm thankful. I thank God for the situation that I was brought up in, because I learned that. I learned to be thankful. I learned to be patient, because I'm truly blessed. You're truly blessed, fam, but you might not see that yet. Right? Like, for example, the friends that's in your friend group. Man, I had one of my best friends, bro. Shout out to Daniel, fam. And the thing is, I never would have thought we would have been such close friends. I never would have thought that, fam. But the thing is, he thinks so much alike me. It's crazy. He thinks so much alike me. And I thank God that he brought him into my life as a great friend, as somebody I can relate to, because there's a lot of people in this world that I can't relate to because they're just so low vibration, low frequency. They're so emotional. I'm not very emotional. I can control my emotions regardless of the situation, right? So many people are focused on low dimensional things, bro. They stuck on level 1. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mentally. They're stuck on level 1. Things that really don't matter in this world. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter that your girlfriend left you, bro. That don't matter. Who cares? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people I can't relate to. It's a lot of people that will work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life and hate it. You know? People planning their future at their job. I can't relate to that because I want to work for myself. And I'm not bashing people who want to work for somebody else because, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I just can't relate to you. I can't relate to that. So there's a disconnect. You feel me? But anyways, man, let me get back on topic. But I feel like, the soul is going to reflect. It's going to see everything that it learned. And if it learned every single thing that it was supposed to in this, in the circumstances that it was brought up in, I feel like, and also you have a connection with God, because you have to have a connection with God. You have to have a connection with the Most High, because the Most High is within inside yourself. Happiness comes from within. Depression comes from within. Then you have to internally work on that. Like I say, I always talk about cars and houses. None of that will bring me long-term happiness. It'll satisfy it. It'll make you feel good for a little bit, but then it's like, dang, now I gotta get another car. You know what I mean? That cycle that's not going to end, because that doesn't bring long-term happiness. What brings long-term happiness is being happy with yourself, is loving yourself for who you are, for accepting yourself for the way that you are. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect, because nobody's perfect. You're not the Most High. You're not the creator of everything. Right? He doesn't want you to be perfect, but he wants you to be a great individual, a loving individual, an individual that is able to forgive people when they do wrong. People have done me wrong in life, bro. It's okay. I forgive them. It is what it is. I don't hate nobody. There's no hate in my heart. There's no jealous. I'm not jealous of nobody. I'm not envious of nobody. Like I always say, I'm inspired and I'm motivated by people who do better than me, because I want to be on their level. Right? But like I said, the soul has a contract. And when you die, whatever you're more connected to, if that's bad energy, bad frequencies, bad vibrations, right? I feel like you're going to be seeing more images of hell. You might be seeing more demons. It's going to be more negative versus somebody who's more connected to positivity, who's more connected to blessing other people, who's more blessed and who's more grateful, right? Who's more happy with their life. They're going to be seeing, like, if you think about it, if I'm so positive, I'm so happy, why would I be picturing bad things? You know what I mean? That doesn't even make sense. So I want you to think about it from that concept. Right? And all of this is a reflection of your conscience. All of this is a reflection of your mind. Because I believe that heaven and hell is not external. It's all from the mind, within the mind. What the conscious believes. Because the conscious is connected to God. Right? The conscious is connected to God. Because like I said, it's a soul contract. You feel me? The Most High planned everything. And your soul is connected to the Most High, right? Because the Most High lives within us. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you're going to be saying either good things or you're going to be saying negative things. And once you understand this is all just a reflection of your mind, and depending on how your life was, and depending on what did Earth teach your soul, because Earth is like, it's a teacher to the soul, because like I said, the soul has to learn, it has to overcome certain things that it didn't in the past, your past trauma, your past lives. You know what I mean? And if you fail that or you don't learn, it's okay. But I feel like you have to come back to Earth. I feel like you will be born again. Reincarnation. Right? Because you haven't accomplished the things that you needed to accomplish. You didn't, you wasn't self-aware. You wasn't really connected with God like that. However, I feel like if you don't really know God, if you don't really know anything about God, I don't believe that God will judge you that, because you're ignorant. You have no understanding. You was never brought up in that situation. You never knew anything. So how could, you know what I mean? How would he, I don't believe he would judge you for that. That's my opinion. But I feel like if if you get it wrong, you have bad karma. You have to be reborn, and once you're reborn, all of this information, everything is erased, and you're gonna start off again as a baby, born into a new situation, a new family, a new economic status, until you finally get it right. That's my opinion. Everything happens for a reason. Every single thing happens for a reason. I really believe that, man. And like I say, I just want you to remember this, fam. A U-Haul is never behind a hearse. So all this materialistic things, like, even though I talk about it a lot, I understand I can't bring none of that with me when I'm gone. No matter how much money I make, I'll never be able to take that with me to the grave. It's all going to be left here for somebody else to enjoy. But I understand that. But while I'm on this earth, I'm going to enjoy it. And I also know if that doesn't bring me happiness, what brings me happiness is helping you guys and serving my purpose, because that's bigger than a car. That's bigger than millions of dollars, because I'm helping you. And I can potentially be the reason why you start appreciating yourself for who you are, why you start loving yourself for who you are, why you find happiness within here, because nothing else can bring you happiness. It's come from yourself first. You have to dictate, and you have to be in control of your emotions at all times. You shouldn't allow people to influence you to feel a certain way. Nobody can influence me to feel a certain way. I can control how I feel. Right? Surround yourself around individuals who think alike. That's my opinion on life after death, and I'm gone.